Hi everyone, it's Rax. April certainly is the month of the ARPGs because unfortunately, one day after last Epoch released their season, Torchlight dropped their new season as well. I've been a pretty big Torchlight fan really ever since it came out. I've been playing Torchlight actually for a long time. Torchlight 2 still remains one of my favorite games ever. And the new season, Sandlord, was a lot of fun, and they actually sponsored a race between Alkaizer, Ben, Mathil, DM, and myself, just to see who could get the furthest in 4 hours and reach time mark 7. So, time mark 7, if you did not know, in the end game, you kind of just go up in tiers. So, you complete the campaign, and then it's time mark 1, 2, 3. It ramps up in difficulty. And for actually not having played the game in a while, I beat the campaign and got to time mark 3 in 4 hours. And that is actually a lot further than I thought I was going to get. Another thing, by the way, if you're wondering, of course, Ben won. Ben wins everything. Uh, I was struck with disaster at the very beginning of this speed run. So, since I'm racing the gods of ARPGs, I figured, I got to run through every zone and just fight the bosses and just press forward that way. If you stop to kill any trash, you're doomed, right? In a race like this. Well, I got to the Act 1 final boss, and it was unbelievably hard. And I was like, Jesus, like maybe I'm under geared, maybe I'm under leveled, like maybe this wasn't such a good idea. Then I zoned forward into chapter 2, and it said, "Excuse me, sir, you are like a level 10 in a level 20 zone. You actually just can't even be here." And so when I was killing the monsters, they like weren't giving me any XP. I actually could not progress. I was like, "Oh no." So I had to actually go back into Act 1 and just farm some of the earlier zones to get some XP to even get back in the race to keep progressing. So that cost me dearly. You can't make mistakes like that against players like this. But that's okay. I still had a lot of fun anyway. If you've never played Torchlight before, and you play like some of the other ARPGs, the thing about Torchlight is it's got kind of a lot of dopamine. It's got a lot of octane because in the end game, this is probably the fastest ARPG, the zoomiest ARPG. You make characters in the end game that become absolute screen deleting gods. So I think a lot of people actually in the ARPG community really like that gameplay. Some prefer it more methodical, but if you have a need for speed, this is definitely the game for you. As we go into one of these treasure troves, it gives you passive points and it gives you godly loot for completing it. They insert these like at different points in the campaign. They're a lot of fun to do. Another thing about like the new season that they implemented is it really reminds me of the Settlers League in Path of Exile 1, and that was a very, very well received league where they seem to have mechanics where you hire workers and you town build and you maximize it and stuff like that. So that's the new season that they have going on. This game is free. You can play it on your phone if you want. There is a separate like PC UI. I always play on PC, but you can like play all day on your PC and swap to your phone. And yeah, I don't know. I I'm still a Torchlight fan. I like the zoominess. I really, really wish if I could do this all again, I would have like prepared an actual build. By the way, shout out to Don the Crown. I Googled it like 3 minutes before the race started, and Don the Crown had this build up. So shout out to him. I was like, yeah, I'll just yoink this and play like this and go on through. But I actually had a lot of fun. I really like these races that these different ARPGs put on. So good on Torchlight for sponsoring us. Appreciate that. And yeah, I'm looking forward to what they put out in the future. One thing that I would hope to see in the future, which I think I heard their community manager talking about actually, is there's a lot of different currencies in the end game and a lot of different systems to power up. And if in the future they can consolidate some of them, I think the game will improve, and I think a lot more people will be excited to play the different seasons. So I think it's maybe to that point after what is this season 7 or season 8? It's been out for quite a while. Once they implement stuff like that, I think the game's going to be pretty clean. Anyway, guys, it was just a fun little recap video to talk about the race and just let you know there is another ARPG if you're bored of some of the other ones. If you're not blasting Last Epoch, Torchlight is there, the Sandlord season. And if you haven't had enough of town building from the old POE1 League, it's time to do that again. Anyway, many more videos are coming, guys. Thank you so much for watching. By the way, if you want to play Torchlight, my link is down below in the description.